Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be a little hack that I've actually come up with, and it relates to the Eufy Indoor Cam 2K that I actually installed probably about a week ago now. So if you remember from my previous videos on this particular camera, what was happening was my driveway and my back garden ones were both battery powered ones. So as you can see, this one takes a few seconds to load up. Back garden one, we'll just take a look at it once again, a couple of seconds, and then loads up. And then the Eufy 2K cam basically was instant previously. So the hack unfortunately has some downsides. So as you can see straight away, firstly, it takes a few more seconds. So if anything, it's slower than the battery powered ones. And the reason for that is basically I've actually disabled HomeKit support, and this particular camera is actually running through Homebridge or Hoobs at the moment. So this is literally just copying the RTSB, so the real-time streaming protocol stream from the camera, which I've also then shared to my NAS drive. So if you remember, I mentioned in that previous video the fact that there was no real recording option because of the limitation with regards to the micro SD card. So I tried two different micro SD cards within that camera, and neither of them would actually initialize. The formatting part it'd do, and then the actual cameras wouldn't, the micro SD wouldn't initialize on the camera. And basically once you've enabled HomeKit, you could no longer actually access it via a NAS drive. So if we come down now, what you'll notice is if I go into video quality, at the moment is set to 2K as opposed to being 1080p as it was previously. So that's a plus side. So if we come into the stream, as you can see, that's now a 2K image that you get through the local app, the Eufy app. Through HomeKit, even though I've set it to 2K, I don't believe this image here is the same quality as the one that I'm getting through the Eufy app. And as you can see here, this was basically instant before. So maybe looking at it, but if we just zoom into the TV as much as it'll go, so that's through the Home app, and I'll just close that, and then we'll come back to the Eufy app and we'll do the same thing, and we'll see if it looks any sharper.
Wait.
Zoom doesn't go as far, but possibly, yeah, maybe it is pulling a better signal because of the Homebridge hack, if you like. So that's obviously that's HomeKit side of things. Now if I come into my DS cam, as you can see from this, it's also live streaming into this as well. This unfortunately is only in 1080p. I think that's just the way it was set up. And it also seems to be set to 15 or roughly thereabouts frames per second as well. So I need to go back into the camera settings and change that. But as you can see, this is now on continuous recording. So if we come to recordings, as you can see, this has been recording that particular room throughout the day. And if we come back into multi-room, as you can see, so the fact that this is getting this stream shows that obviously it is recording to my NAS drive. So the storage side of the problem, if you like, has been solved. Now it has presented me with one other issue. So what I'll do is I'll just play this video of a recording that I actually made. And as you can see, unfortunately on both Apple TVs, and I'm not sure if this is just a beta issue, but even though it plays back on the phone perfectly well, on the TVs it doesn't seem to load it up. And this was a similar thing that I used to get with the Reolink C2 setup that I had as well. So possibly it could literally just be a case of the way that the beta software operates with Homebridge and it interacts with it. Something's possibly just not quite right. But apart from that, literally everything else, the front garden camera, the back garden camera, they're both working fine, and the Homebridge ones, even the video that I made regarding them previously, you'll remember, if you haven't seen that, obviously just go, I'll link it in the cards in the top right, or I'll put a link in the description below. But essentially the issue I was getting was it would work the first time you went in previously, but then when you then clicked back into it for a second time, it wouldn't then show up. So this probably not the exact same problem. So with this, obviously, it's the fact that it doesn't actually even start playing on the Apple TVs, but both of them are running a beta. This phone, which I'm recording this on, is basically running iOS 13.5. It is jailbroken and it still plays back perfectly fine through the jailbroken device. So if we just come back into the Home app now, what you'll see is it takes longer. So previously it was instant, and that's the thing that I actually liked about it. It used to load up pretty much instantly. Whereas now, come out of it, and if I just click back into it now, as you can see, it takes roughly around about the same time as the front and back battery powered cameras. So it's almost as though it has to latch onto the stream. But for anybody out there that obviously does get these Eufy cams and they have either a Synology NAS or a different NAS out there, it's the setup wizard in the Eufy app is very much catered towards Synology, because it actually mentioned Synology as part of the setup process. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You literally just come down to storage, you hit on NAS, RTSB, and then it will guide you through what you need to do. The one thing I haven't actually done right now is I'm not set as static IP. I probably will need to do that to make sure it doesn't then just drop out when if the IP address changes. But I can do that quite easily, and obviously with the Homebridge side of things, it's literally just a case of updating the IP address if that does give you an issue. But so far, basically it's recording to my NAS drive continuously, and basically it's also accessible on my phone through the Home app, as well as the Eufy app, and then also through the DS Photos app as well. The one limitation about the DS Photos is it only comes with 2 certificates as standard. So if you were to copy this exact setup and you had more than 2 cameras, then you would need to either buy a license or come up with a different way of actually doing this. But essentially for me, because I know I've basically got 2 free licenses on the DS Cam, and I've got that set up 24/7 anyway, so I figured it was worth trying this, because even if I turn around and I'm not happy with this particular setup, say for example it doesn't work on the TVs at all, even going forward, then what I can do is I can literally just disable the RTSB and just re-add it to HomeKit. And with these cameras, the brilliant thing about them is it does feel very native. So when you're actually adding it to HomeKit, it does work every single time. So you don't have to worry about, oh, if I've removed it from HomeKit, then it won't be accessible again. Now, I did mention that obviously there's a few downsides. So obviously the first one is the fact that it's not working on the TVs at the moment. The second one is the slight delay that you get now when you're playing back. And the third one is that the motion sensor is no longer visible. So obviously now, because it's going through Homebridge, it's literally just seeing a camera, a feed. It's just seeing video. It's not actually seeing any sensors on the camera itself. And for that reason, obviously, if you didn't already have a motion sensor in that room, you can't then set up any scenes or anything based off that. But for me, because I've already got a motion sensor in my front room, so this one, it's not really a big deal for me, and it'd be more of an issue in my living room, where it'd probably be more of a concern, and possibly something where I could have made use of the motion sensor. But it's not, like I say, it's not the end of the world, because these particular Cara motion sensors, I think I only picked them up for like £9–10, something like that, maybe even less, because I bought them in bulk when I did actually purchase them. So for that reason, for the price, it's not really a big deal for me. But yeah, this is a sort of hack. And what I'll do is I'll just come down quickly. Yeah, it is still logged in. So if we go to plugins, and as you can see, it's literally just this one here, Camera FFmpeg, and it literally just copies the details from the RTSB stream and it pulls it into HomeKit, hence why it's not quite as good as it was originally, but it's still good enough to do the job. So for anybody out there that's buying one of these and wants recording, local recording on a NAS or something similar, and they also want it accessible through the Eufy app as well as the HomeKit app, this is an option for you. And I'm sure, even though right now it's showing as 1080p, it is actually set in 2K mode, so it is accessible in 2K mode. So that's obviously the benefit, another benefit of this particular method. So if you did like this video, obviously give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you're notified about any new and upcoming videos, and you don't miss out on any. And one final thing is, if you haven't already done so, please do follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description below. Any questions, any queries, whilst you can post a quick comment down below, if you need assistance with anything, then I can do that a lot easier over on Twitter. So if you follow me on there, it'll make everybody's life a bit easier.